review session coming to you live from FBS Telegram channel. I'm sure that you guys already, some of you already noticed that this week is a quite unusual week. And I'm going to explain what I mean by this week being a quite unusual week. All right, let me explain what I mean by this week being a quite unusual week. Let's look at AUD-JPY, for example. All right, AUD-JPY opened yesterday. All right, opened last night, and then immediately afterwards, so far today, it's done about 190 pips. All right, that was a 190 pip jump just out of the box. All right, let's go to CAD-JPY. You see the exact same thing. CAD-JPY, we have 210 pips. CHF-JPY, we had 350 pips. Euro-JPY, massive one, 307 pips. GBP-JPY, we had something quite similar too. Yep, 350 pips. NZD-JPY, just repeated like that, all right? The exact same jump. Now, someone would wonder, why exactly did this happen? I'm going to show you by telling you a story. So you guys remember what I've shown you so far about using weekly time frames for pivot points, all right, for identifying our pivot regions. All right, so this happens to be the pivot region on the weekly time frame. All right, now the next thing we do is to look for zones that overlap that pivot region, right? And then we see that, yes, there's a zone here. Then you come to the daily time frame, all right, and realize that now what had happened initially all through last week was that JPY basket jumped from this area of demand, all right? But the reason why it had to return back down was because when you look closely, you see that this is actually an area of liquidity. All right, so all that JPY is now is bouncing off this supply zone, all right, to push into this region, and I think there's a trend line resistance there as well. Yeah, to push into this demand region, all right, so that it can follow up with. Do we get it now? So that I can follow up with its bullish intent. All right. So for those of you who want to trade JPY pairs, you can now begin to expect the return of JPY strength. All right. There's a huge likelihood that JPY begins to gain strength, going forward. An alternative would be to come to the 4 hours time frame. And identify that price is actually trading within this channel. All right. So first of all, you can decide to break this move down. Into this first. All right. Or worst case scenario, price just decides to get to this supply zone once again and then drop. So either ways, you're prepared for whatever eventuality JPY pairs propose, all right? So either ways, you're prepared for whatever JPY presents. So having seen that, let's now begin to talk about what our expectations should be, all right, for this particular trading week. What are we expecting from USD, all right, especially based on the economic shutdown that is currently going on in the US. So weekly time frame, we want to see where our pivots lie. Now, because of how packed these are, all right, I think I'm going to have to go one step higher. That simply tells us that there's a consolidation on the weekly time frame. So our best bet would be to come to the monthly time frame. So when you come to the monthly time frame, you can then refine your sentiments. Okay, so now we see that DXY is bouncing off of that monthly time frame zone or the weekly time frame zone. So let's come to the daily time frame. Hold on, guys. Good. So now let's come to the 1 hour time frame. Or let's do 4 hours so it's clear. So now on the 4 hours time frame, there are 2 options that we have. All right. The first option is that price either breaks this high and then sets us up as being, in a bullish trend. All right. Or price comes to take out liquidity from this low. So these are the 2 options. Is it that DXY breaks above that high, comes for a retest, and then targets the next pivot, all right, the next pivot region, or price outrightly does this. Now, so I know the next question you're going to be asking is, how do I know which one price is trying to do? All right, how do I know which one price will do? And then how do I position myself for that particular outcome? All right. If price breaks below this trend line, you can wait for a retest and then, just picture DXY coming lower. What that would signify is that it will signify the fact that dollar is weaker, all right, and then Euro USD, GBP USD, gold, all right, all of them would be buys, all right, including NZD USD, all right, we'll be buying all of that. But if price breaks above this region, comes back to retest the confluence of the monthly time frame pivot and the trend line, all right, that would be the onset of a bullish movement. All right, it would be a setup for a bullish movement. So we could also just write that up, and that would mean that EU, GU, NU, AU, all right, all of them would be bearish, and then we'll be looking to buy USD JPY, USD CAD, and so on. All right, does it make sense, please? If you understood this and it made sense, it connected with you, can you please just drop reactions in the chat box? Let me be sure how many of you are following up with what I'm sharing today. Just drop a comment, drop a reaction. I want to be sure how many of you are following. I'm waiting, guys. Mark Aquila, do you have a question? You can unmute your mic and ask it. But guys, first of all, I need to see your comments in the chat box, all right? I need to see your comments in the chat box. Adetola, Mark Aquila, if you guys have questions, please unmute your mic and ask. Adetola, you can unmute your mic and ask your question. Let me see. Victor Adeyemo, you can unmute your mic and ask your question. CJ, you can unmute your mic and ask your question. MJ Sniper Trades, listen to me. I have said this many times. Signals on the platform and what we do here live are two different things. All right, they are two different things. It's like saying I have a scalping signal and then I have an intraday trading signal, or I have a day trading signal and then a swing trading signal. Both of them are not the same. All right. And also, please note that the signals in the group, not all of them are from me. All right, Adetola, go ahead, please. Let me help you.
So good afternoon, sir. So we're analyzing the DXY index. So I didn't quite get you.
Can you speak louder a bit?
I didn't quite get the analysis that you did on the DXY index.
All right, I said DXY index. When we drew our pivots, we drew them from the weekly time frame. All right, the pivot tells us places where DXY is most likely to react. So when DXY came here, reacted from here, it came and dropped into this other block. All right, it dropped into this other block, which is what you see here. Now, when it dropped into that other block on the monthly time frame, it simply means that now we need to see whether price wants to bounce back, all right, continue bullish from here, all right, or whether it is going to be a consolidation. Now, if it chooses to bounce back, it would mean that price would come into this zone, break above this zone, retest, and continue. Okay? But on the other end, if that's not what happens, it would mean that price would do a push into this trend line resistance and then come back down. All right, so that's why I now said that where we are right now is a pivotal point, because it determines whether price is going to break above this point and continue to this trend line, or if price is going to react and come this trend line. As you can see, price is in the middle region, all right, of the consolidation channel. Does it make a bit more sense now?
Yes, sir.
I didn't get you, Adiola. Please let me know if it's clearer now.
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, it's clear now. Thanks, sir.
Okay. CJ, you can unmute your mic and ask your question. The voice is not clear. That's unusual. Can you guys hear me better now? Billy Jones, can you hear me better now?
Hello, sir.
Yes, CJ, go ahead, please.
I just came in now, please, sir. But you are talking about this trade line that the candle is in the middle. So, is it for good or for another? Do you get what I'm saying?
We've not done for gold yet. We're just talking about DXY, which is the US dollar index.
Okay. Please, can you explain more about the US? Because I just came in now. That's why I'm not understanding.
Don't worry,
anything
you can always get the recording after the session, all right? You can always get the recording after the session.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
MJ Sniper Trades. I think you might want to try the 4-hour time frame. I think it's a bit more balanced. It's a bit more balanced. Chibweze, you can just search my name on Google. It would give you access to all of my details. Who else? Victor Adeyemo, please unmute your mic and ask your question. Mark Aquila, Victor Adeyemo, can you guys please unmute your mic and ask your questions? If my screen is a bit blurry, you might need to refresh your screen. Immortal, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Please, I'm just joining. I can't really see. What pair are we now, please?
Please, Immortal, can you please speak up louder so I can hear you?
Okay, good afternoon, sir. Please, I'm just hooking up. What is the pair you are analyzing with us, sir?
This is US dollar index. US dollar index. It tells the strength or weakness of the US dollar.
Okay. So where I'm seeing your cursor now, is that the TP, sir? I can see your trend line, sir.
We have discussed two possible scenarios. All right. If you were not here, you might need to understand the explanation behind it. So please send a DM and request for access to the recording.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, you're welcome. Lawal Musti, go ahead and ask your question. All right. In the meantime, let's go ahead and see how this is going to play on. MJ Sniper, there is no peer, absolutely no peer that respects the RSI. And that's why it's important that you use other confirmations like market structure and the likes to, to determine what exactly you're trading entry.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, sorry. It's been a while.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How is family? How is trading, sir?
We thank God everyone is well.
Please, quick one. Please, I just want more confirmation, actually more analysis on JBP, JBY.
GBP, JPY.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
All right, noted. Give me a minute, we'll get to that. Okay? Did you hear me, sir? All right, so based on what I'm seeing here, all right, you can see that price already broke structure bullish. Broke above this swing height, all right, and then came back for a retest. And not only did it come back for a retest, it also swept liquidity using the low of that inducement. So right now, it means that we should be expecting buys on Euro USD. All right, we should be expecting buys on Euro USD. If you like aggressive trading, all right, if you are a fan of aggressive trading, you can enter the buy already. But remember, if you are an aggressive trader or you like taking risks. If you like to be a more conservative kind of trader, then my recommendation would be that you wait for price to get here, break above the trend line, come for a retest, and then you can move. Do we get it? So you would like to, it would be better to see price break above this high. All right. Before you confirm that Euro USD is actually bullish. Does this make sense? Anjum, can you unmute your mic and ask a question? Oblivion, unmute your mic and ask a question as well.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes,
I'm your first time, and I enjoy your analysis. They are clear. So you said that we should watch out for a breakout on Euro USD.
Yes.
Okay, so is it possible that my question is this: is it possible that you will analyze indices?
That you analyze indices?
Yes, that you will analyze the indices before you end the session.
Which index are you talking about?
NASDAQ, please.
US 100?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll get to that then. We'll get to that.
All right, thank you so much, sir. That'll be all.
You're welcome. Adiola, your hands are raised again. How may I help you?
sir. I also wanted to ask if you could help us with the USD JPY first.
USD JPY.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll see how we get to do that. Okay. So Euro USD, that's the expectation. Let's take a look at GBP USD. All right, I don't think GBP USD needs much of an explanation. We've seen price react from this zone. Let me see. Let me restart the analysis so that you guys don't get confused. Okay. Let's see. This is GU daily time frame. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I think I just saw something daily time frame. Did we break above this slightly? All right, so I think our major zone is here and here, at least. We've seen liquidity swept from here. All right, quite nice. All right, so now to figure out whether GU is going to be bullish or not, all right, bullish GU would require a break, a retest, and then a continuation. All right, to enter into the weekly time frame supplies region. Okay, so first things first, to confirm bullish breakout on GU, we need to see price take this highs. All right, we need to see price take those highs. If price does not take those highs, it simply means that there's a huge chance that price wants to just come and do a retest of this zone before it continues back down. All right, so our major test for GU becoming bullish is what I just showed you. All right, naturally we are anticipating bullish GU. Basically, that's where my own sentiments lie. Okay, that's where my sentiments lie. But at the moment, I also cannot excuse the possibility of GU going bearish. All right, I cannot excuse that possibility. Reason being that there is a supply region here that price has not tested at all. All right, there's a supply region here that price has not tested at all. Okay, so that calls for a bit of caution. All right, so price might end up doing a bounce from this supply region, all right, to come all the way down here. So before you conclude that GU is a buy, I would prefer that you are very sure because price has broken above this point and come back for a retest. I hope we understand now. All right, so having said that, let's now look at some of the commodities that you guys have requested for. Michael Okpata, what's your question, please? Mark Aquila, Michael Okpata, you guys can unmute your mic and ask your question if you have any.
Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, please. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Please, I wanted to ask because I don't know if if the fall is from my own phone or from my own end because I'm not seeing your screen so clearly. Do I can begin to see now?
It's most likely a
Can
network
you,
issue on the end.
okay, but do I can see now clearly a bit. I've been following, but I couldn't get your analysis on Euro USD.
Well, after the session, you can come to request you can reach out to request for the recording.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, so for GJ, it's actually a bit tricky, but I think that this is the zone we want to work with. Around 204.7 or around 204.8 rather, around 204.8, yes, 204.8. Reason being that although there's another zone, a tiny zone here, let me see what that zone looks like on the far right. Okay, it looks like a valid region too. All right, so our first zone that we can consider is here, all right, between these two lines for GJ cell. Hold on. There's something I'm supposed to see here. All right, so there's a huge chance that GU does this, GJ does this, and then begins to dump. All right, or it comes into this overall daily zone and then decides to continue. So those are the two options, but both of them are showing that right now at the time, at this present time, All right, both of them are showing that price might want to reach into this zone first. Okay, so it will be safer for you to wait for price to enter into this region, and then you start to look for selling confirmations or confirmations for a sell. Do we get it now? So that's GJ. Let me see. Someone asked about UJ. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. And it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. And it will surprise you what the Lord. Okay. This is actually tricky. The price has bounced off this zone twice. While there's another zone right up here. All right, so this is UJ. All right. So for those of you who are asking if you can sell gold, I did not tell anybody to sell gold, please. I've not even analyzed gold yet, so please hold on. For UJ, you can see there's a solid supply region here, all right, that was created when price broke below this low. And that's made this our swing high, all right, this became our swing low. And when price broke this swing low, all right, this became the new swing low, this became the new swing high. All right, and right now we have not seen price break above the swing high, so we cannot say categorically on the daily time frame yet, we cannot say that USDJPY is bullish. We can't say that yet. Do we get it now? So the conclusion of the matter is that price is most likely going to react from this supply zone and the trend line. But let's now come to the 4 hours time frame to see how that is looking up. So inside the overall daily time frame supply zone, there is this 4 hour time frame supply zone. So let me tell you how I would approach this. If I wanted to take a trade from this, let me show you how I'm going to approach this. I'm going to wait for price to come into this zone, reject, come back close to it or even break above it, then come lower. All right, so it is this. That's what will serve as the confirmation for entry. That shift in market structure is what will serve as the confirmation for the entry. So for me, that would be the sentiment on UJ. Selling UJ right now, continuing to sell UJ right now might not be the best, because for me, I would prefer that price enters into a much clearer zone of confluence. All right, a much clearer zone of confluence. But remember, anywhere around this particular position, the sell might begin. So from now, you can start looking for confirmations for bearish momentum. All right, you can already start looking for that on your 1 hour and 4 hour time frames. All right, but for me, I've shown you how I would approach this. I would prefer to see price sweep above this high first. All right, to enter into this zone before I take my sell. All right, I think the other person, there was GJ, there was UJ. Somebody else asked about, I can't remember now. I really cannot remember. If you're the one that asked about another commodity earlier, please type it in the chat box. Let me be sure that I address your request. Adiola, your hands are raised. That might help you.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, please, how can we get the live record after the section?
The recording, you have to send me a text. Just send me a text on my username, FX Templar. Just send me a text. Ask for the recording. I'll send it to you. I'll send you the link to watch it. Is that okay, Diola? All right, UD, unmute your mic, please, and ask your question.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
Okay, sorry, I don't know whether you have reviewed already. I'm joining a bit late. Please, I wanted to request your sentiment on BTC.
All right, I've not done BTC yet, but I think we'll get to it since you have asked.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right, yeah, I remember the third commodity that was requested. I think it was NASDAQ. I believe it was NASDAQ. Yeah. I've already talked about GBP JPY. If you missed it, then the only option is to get the recording. Everybody testifies you are good. You are good. Everybody testifies you are good. You are good. You are good. Everybody testifies you are good. You are good. You are good. Everybody testifies you are good. You are good. You are good. All right, so currently we're seeing Nasdaq trading within a channel. All right, we're seeing it trade within a channel. And for me, I think we can already see that the last or the most recent structural move was a break above this high. All right, that was the most recent structural move. Okay, so meaning if we're looking for trading opportunities, I will still be rooting for the buys nonetheless. I'll be rooting for the buys, and I'll be waiting to see price do something like this. All right, that would be my own expectation. Yeah, so that would be my expectation for US 100. All right, so for me, I think it's safer to just wait for price to retrace this far, and then I can lock in the buy. All right, so that's USD JPY. So let's see US 100. I'm sorry, I will not be able to do GER30, the German index. I'm sorry, for the sake of time. So let's do ETH USD, because one handsome brother asked for it the other time. Okay, so ETH USD, I think the sentiment should be tilting towards bearish. My sentiment is tilting towards bearish, all right? However, I think it will still be best to see clear signs of a reversal before hitting the trigger for a sell. All right, I think that's what's still going to work best in your favor. Wait, see a clear sign of reversal, all right, and then you can begin to do your thing. You get it? Because for me, I feel like price will want to come take liquidity from this high. All right, almost naturally. That's just what I think. And to confirm that, you can see that price is already trading in a channel. Come on, let's do it. Let's go. Yeah.
Sir, please, Adela still has a question, sir.
I didn't hear you.
I still have a question, sir. Concerning the GPP USD trade you analyzed for us.
Okay.
So you gave us the analysis, but you didn't give us where we should target as take profit if price eventually goes up.
My brother, I cannot be the one to give you take profit. I've done my job to show you my own sentiment. Your take profit or stop loss will be depending on areas where liquidity is resting, as at the time of your entering the trade. So if we are not entering the trade now, I cannot be the one to give you where the take profit will be, because the liquidity can shift before the trade actually gets activated. All right. Okay, so naturally ETH USD price might want to come into this region first. And that will be its way of completing an accumulation, manipulation, distribution pattern. All right, or an A and B pattern for short. But nonetheless, I've shown you where our zones lie. All right, I've shown you where our zones are resting. Weekly time frame, we've seen that this high has swept liquidity from this point. So it's completed a sweep before the shift in structure. All right, so now we are anticipating to see whether this sell is going to continue or price is going to complete the break above this zone, retest, and then now shift. Our sentiment can then shift to bullish. All right, so those are the two possible scenarios on ETH USD. And then I think finally someone asked about BTC USD. So let's do that as well. All right, this was the BTC USD analysis from several weeks ago. This was 26th of September. Yeah, price is still bullish. All right, still quite bullish. But let's do the analysis from scratch once more. Okay, weekly time frame. Okay. BTC USD. All right, so for the 4-hour time frame on BTC USD, I feel price might want to come take liquidity from this equal lows. Sweep liquidity from the equal lows, and then we'll get to see something like this. All right, but those are basically my areas of confluence or my areas of interest. This demand order block, all right, or this other region. Okay, so typically either of these two, we're just waiting for price to come into those points, all right, and then give us a bullish reaction. So that's the essence of what I've shown you so far. All right, because price has swept liquidity from this high. So naturally, after a liquidity sweep, sometimes we know that price decides to take a breather, all right, and then retrace. I would have said this is the retracement, but this retracement only filled the fair value gap. It did not sweep liquidity from the other end. All right, so now that it has swept liquidity from the top, I believe that it should target the next area of liquidity, which is the sell side liquidity, which it hasn't done yet. All right, so that's why I'm still feeling like there might be continuation of the bearish movement. All right, so that price comes into this and then we get a clear bullish move. Do we get it? All right, so thank you so much, guys. I'm sorry, I know there are a couple of hands raised, but this is about all that we're going to be able to entertain for today. This week is going to be the jobs report. All right, so we're going to be streaming on YouTube. All right, for the unemployment claims. All right, we're going to be streaming on YouTube for the unemployment claims. So guys, don't miss it. All right. Of course, we know that currently the U.S. economy is a bit sluggish, but nonetheless, I think any avenue, any opportunity that we have to be able to, experience live sessions, live analysis, I believe as people who are attuned to learning, who are interested in learning, I believe that it will be a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to learn even a bit more. All right. So please do well to join me on the stream. All right. It promises to be fantastic. I will be expecting you. So have a fantastic rest of the trading week. God bless you guys. I love you to the moon and back. Bye-bye.